What am I looking at in the chat? First off, good morning. Second off, they'll buy me a Highlander if you show me hog. I ain't doing that on stream. You never. Okay, listen. You never. Yeah, we don't talk about that. You know, don't worry about chat. It's just dudes being dudes. But hey, if I get a Highlander out of it, I'll take that dude. As long as it's the one that I was looking at on Marketplace. Alright, the thing that we're working on today is going to be hopefully the one and final Invis pass. Hopefully. We'll see. Basically, the issue is that the dither effect, it's fine. It worked. However, it doesn't really, like, it's not very clear is all I'll say of like the actual percentage of it. So if I like showcase it, you know, if this is the player model. No, if this is our player model, throw this material, then I drag this out here. And if we go over here and we do dither alpha preview, you can see, like, as the dither starts to fade in, you know, like if you were to look at this, I would say this is like maybe 40 or 50% visibility. Like, I don't know what you guys would say, but to me this looks like 40 to 50% visibility. But when you actually look at the value, that's actually a value of 0.16, so 16%. If you look at a value of 0.5, that does not look like 0.5 visibility. That looks like maybe 80 or 90%. If we were to go to 80, you know, that looks like, I would think, like 98. So basically, the dither, even though, yes, because the way dither works is it hides individual pixels of a mesh based off of like a pattern. And so, yes, technically, 65% of pixels are missing on the character, but just the way that we perceive it, not actually based off of that thing. So I think what we should do is create a curve that maps this to an actual value. That's where I'll need your guys' help to kind of, like, I'll set it to a value. You guys will tell me like what percentage you think it is, and I'll kind of take the average of that, and we'll kind of roll with that. We'll create like a curve. That's step one. Step two is I'm debating messing around with something else. They were doing this last week. Oh. Oops. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna put this into a curve, and that curve then just remap it. That's one thing. Second thing I was gonna try is maybe doing some kind of translucency, but honestly, actually looking at this again, I think I could just get this. But I think the issue is just that it fades in quickly. So that's what we're gonna try. So I do have to look up how to get float curves here, because I do not remember. Oh, right, I curve atlas. Well, let's when we take color. Okay, well, let's create a color curve. Is that what I'm leave? I found my dad. What do you mean that? What do you mean by that? But alright, later. Thanks for coming by and saying hi. Appreciate it. Hold on. Look at this. See, it says it's referenced here. I don't see a reference here at all. Which in that case, we're just this and we're just gonna duplicate this, call this dither curve. Dither. Yeah. Drag this left. Guess I really don't have test. Just doing it. Oh, I don't know. We're just gonna do this in stages. This is 0.01. I feel like, yeah, you know, seeing this from across the map, not 0.01. Actually, I'm gonna start 30. This is 0.5. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. Me personally, I feel like that looks like, you know, if you were to say like a percentage, like how visible is this player, I would say like 75 or 80. Like, is also at a distance. Actually, let's do like 0.25. Like this here, I would say would probably. This it would be like, yeah, 5. Yeah, I feel basically curve ended up being probably. Yeah. So we'll leave that for now. Yeah, so what we actually do now is movement dither alpha for vertical. I need separate values for vertical and never played the MCC campaign? What? Dang. How have you never tried that? But I mean, hell yeah. They're goated. Which one have you tried? How far are you? You've never played it. That's I always have had. Oh, you gotta tell him he did a no-no. Shouldn't start with. You gotta start with. You gotta do it in the order of release. I mean, it's too late. Already, but Reach should be done after Halo. Actually, after. But Yeah, I mean, you are, in that case, you're technically doing it the, like, you are technically doing it the, like, or like, chronological. That's what, like, the chronological order, it works, but it's best to play it, in the order they were, because then reach just hits so much harder. Teleporters, not. I will show you. I did do yeah, that's kind of the point. You're supposed to make this target. Well, it's a mix of Stargate and Portal and a few other games. Like the teleport effect will be inspired by Titanfall 2, like teleport effect. I did try this approach. Where it was actually a portal and not a teleporter, like not like a wormhole. I tried this approach, and this approach is cool, and this will definitely make it into the game somewhere. However, you can see me. This is cool, and I like this a lot. But you know that there's people that add tens of teleporters in their maps. Issue with this thing is you're re-rendering the scene twice with separate cameras. So it's, you know, twice the rendering cost, or, you know, honestly, probably more than. So, as cool as this is, performance-wise, it's just not ideal for teleporter. This will still come back in the form of a map element. So, the map element is going to be these giant portals that'll open up and connect to each other, and they will have the live render. But if we do it as a map element, well, if there's visibilities on both sides, then there's no camping, because, you know, you can see through it. You can see through the portals, so you wouldn't be able to camp, because it would just literally be like a window. I mean, you could still camp it, yes, but in theory, people would be able to hide. But with this way, we can have as many of these in the world as we want, and it's really not going to cause a performance. So, with the other way, those will be called portals. These ones are teleporters, and there's going to be 3 different versions. There will be the circular version. There'll be a more like square version for like doorways and stuff, and then there'll be like kind of the more like Halo standard one, like more of like an orb that's just omnidirectional, like you can walk in any angle and it'll teleport. And then the portal will just happen. I'm not gonna have different portal, but you know, I agree with Van. Reach is great if you just play it. Like if you play Reach and then you go to CE, it's not only a drastic reduction in quality, but it's also a drastic reduction in gameplay. Like in gameplay, you're not like, there's no, you know, armor abilities, there's no stuff like that. The weapons are very simple by comparison. The hit detection is not as good. Like it's just a huge downgrade to do it by chronological order. So yeah, I mean, I love CE. I've played through so many of the missions so many times because we're doing, like, my buddy and I are doing achievement hunting. I'm at like 585 out of the 700 achievements, so I'm like 84% of the way done. So yeah, it's fun though. What was it? Oh, right, vertical. I'm thinking 800 is when it should start. And then like 100, like 20% visible. Start up to like full visibility. I'm also doing that really long staircase that I was telling you all about last time. I'm doing that again tomorrow. And actually one of the guys who yeah. No, CE is still very fun. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, it is definitely like I don't know. I find it best. Also just because the whole point of Reach is that, you know, there's already this established lore, and the kind of thing with Reach is from the end you know the beginning. I think that was like one of the phrases that they used in their trailer, that where also please tell me you're like watching the trailers before you play the games, because that just makes them like, I feel like that makes them hit more if you're playing them for the first time, because you watch the trailers, you kind of see the marketing for the game, you kind of see what the game is about, and play the game. Kind of get the same, sort of the same experience as everybody who had to actually. I mean, that's fine. I think you should watch the trailer, like starting obviously once you finish. Just like watch the trailers. I'm sure there's like a trailer compilation. Like watch the trailers and then play the game. Okay, cool. We can jump in out. Oh, even plugging in. There we go. Oh shit. Yeah, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach. I mean, I go back and watch the Halo Reach vidocs all the time. Like, I think, and I'm a little biased, but I think Halo Reach, like, is by far my favorite Halo. And there's a lot of Reach for that, but that's too. Oh my gosh, what? feel like falling from height should definitely make you. I have not had sleep paralysis. I think my dad got it at a point. Is it? That doesn't surprise me. I don't know. My mic seems like it's been weird. I just turned up the sensitivity on it, so let me know if that's better. Oh, I'm plugging in the absolute value. That's why. Okay, now this should. So boom, if I pop Invis, go into third person. Nice. And then as we start falling, yeah, it becomes more visible as we start falling. And I mean, I could make a separate value for the falling velocity. I feel like I would, just because that'd be nice. Let's do that. So let's actually plug this in. Plug that in. Just see what our... I like the vertical. Jesus was a dad and helped you out. He do be like that. Oof, really? That's already 900. Oh, no, it's because I'm doing great. Add key, -600, 0. Try that. I feel like you should be able to drop down from a 4-block high thing without making... or without becoming visible. I think you come out of Invis too fast. I think that's one of the things I've noticed in playtests. Like from movement, you just disappear. Like if you're moving really fast across the map, you know, let's say you're sprinting and then you just stop. Yeah, that feels more like, okay, it's actually making you disappear again. Oof, in that case. Why did I stop playing? Yeah, we're gonna have to go tweak the vertical one now because I've completely forgot about that. 600, and then for 800 we're gonna want like 0.2, and then for yeah, that looks like perfect. Now we can work on falling. Yeah, vertical movement should interpolate you pretty quickly. Yeah, like that. Cool. All right. Freaking finally, dude. We've got separate values for horizontal and vertical. Boom, done. One of the other things is, yeah, the third person and first person dither is not appearing identically. Which gun has the hands on screen the most? Probably the SR. I guess I need it for sprinting, which would be the pistol. I love this new SMG reticle. I don't know what you guys think, but I love it. Like, and when you shoot and it blooms, oh, it's so dynamic. I love it. It's absolutely goated. Like, this actually feels really good to, like, slide around and shoot with. And it's just a power hose now. Alright, thanks for coming by. Have a good day. What was I supposed to be doing? Oh, yeah. Look into it, not appearing identically. So I need the pistol. Because that's the one that kind of shows on screen. I guess I could look at the legs too. Like, that's what it looks like for me. But then if I go into third person, I mean, I guess the mesh kind of looks identical, but the gun doesn't, because the gun doesn't even look like it's visible at all, and that's mostly what you see on the screen. So that's why we're having such an issue knowing how, because we're having an issue knowing like how invisible we are. So I need to look at my weapon material. I think this is on it. Let's see. Not weapon base. We're gonna need like assault rifle. Yeah, it is Matt_weapon base. So yeah, both of these. What I'm suspecting is that maybe the player's material is maybe using a different mask up. It doesn't look like it. I have not checked. Yeah, opacity mask clip value is 0.3. And on the weapon, it's also. Yeah, I mean, yo, what up, Mr. Lonely? Or should I say the dev of Left to Fry? I mean, yeah, why not like fried terror? I mean, I guess you have, yeah, terrified. Terror fry. That is the first time I actually have noticed or like realized that you're playing on word. I guess I never even thought about it. That's crazy. I'm an idiot. At a cease and desist, is there some legal thing with that? Also, I'm drinking mint chocolate chip flavored hot chocolate. Dude, this is the most goated thing on the planet. I love it so much. I mean, I just love mint stuff in general, but like mint chocolate chip flavored hot chocolate is so good. Oh, damn. That's unfortunate. That's my worry. honestly. Like, I need to go register some names for some stuff, or for Onyx as well, but like for some other things that, you know, future plans and whatnot that I'm a little worried might end up being an issue later down the line. That's all I'll say. Okay, so yeah, that's why the weapons dither looks different, is I am applying a power to it that I am not applying in the weapon. I'm applying that after saturate, which I should probably do. And then that's getting multiplied by other stuff. But yeah, that's directly after. So in the weapon, we saturate the Invis dither, do a power, and then we plug that in there. Now the weapon should look identical. Dude, mint and chocolate is indeed goated. You know what else is goated? Is Reese's. And I have been, like, Reese's are my kryptonite right now. I have just a bag of the, like, unwrapped minis, and it's on my desk, and it's the like super family size. Yeah, I've been trying to save up for it because it's not that much cheaper here. Like, I've looked into it. I don't remember exactly what the price was, but I remember when I looked into it, I was like, hell nah. But it's also like, I need to register my company. I need to copyright the name for both my company and Project Onyx and all that. Like, there's so much that I need to do, and probably shouldn't say that on stream that I don't have it, but oh well. Yeah. There we go. Now they look like they match. Yeah, they match now. Perfect. Please, no. I mean, technically, I guess in a legal battle, even though, yes, you own it, like, if somebody else did buy it and they owned it, technically, I mean, legally, there's nothing I could do because they own it. They do legally own the rights. But if I were to try to fight it, all my crap has it. So, like, it has been shown that I've been using it. Now, I don't think that would help me win a legal case, but that would definitely be something that shows, like, hey, you know, this dude's been using the name. I even own certain websites with the names and stuff like that. Like, I do own already some of the stuff. And, you know, yeah. I don't think it would help me win a legal case, but it is definitely, you know, stuff. Yeah, I feel like for an indie game, you know, even if you expect it to blow up, like, I feel like for your kind of a game, it's not worth it. For my kind of a game, where, you know, in theory, and I guess the hope is that I'm a contender for, like, first-person or multiplayer arena shooters. So I guess in my case, I feel like I would want to, just because, you know, assuming and hoping Onyx becomes big, I would obviously want to have those names and stuff, like, registered and trademarked. But I feel like, no, I feel like it's a good thing. I'm not dissing on Left 2 Fry. I'm more so saying, your game's not really like there's not a contender for your game. Like, your game's unique in the sense that it doesn't have a contender. So, you know, 2027 game of the year. That's when it's coming out. Coming out 2027. Brother, how long do you have? What else do you have left on it? Oh, full release, yeah. My buddy's game comes out this Tuesday. On the 3rd. It do be pretty fun. And I'm trying my best to help him with like game feel stuff. That way it can be the best that it can on, well, it's coming out in early access, but it is coming out. So yeah. I am dreading the day that I have to go through and do a pass on my player material to make it clean, optimized, and actually readable. Because this crap is ugly. Because I just keep adding sections to it. Like, it started off super clean and like organized up here. Yeah, well, and that's where I feel like, I don't know, it's up and downs because yes, I'm technically contending with Halo, and I guess also technically Splitgate. Like, I don't want to be a competitor, but it's just, that's just how it is with games that are similar. Like, you're just gonna be contending for the player base. And yeah, the player base can play both games, but you're gonna have people that just choose one over the other. Like, I know there's people who stopped playing Halo Infinite to play Splitgate 2. But the issue is, no one plays Splitgate. I wonder if I even still have it installed. I don't think I do. I think I uninstalled it last week. So I was just looking through my library and I'm like, man, I'm probably never going to touch Splitgate. Oh, Reno Reloaded again. So yeah. The thing is, like, yeah, I don't know. Splitgate had potential. I just don't think they spent their, what was it, $10 million funding well. You look at their art direction now and it's falling apart. Their main thing, one of the big thing that Ian, the guy, the like CEO of 1047 Games, he was saying about Splitgate 1 was that he just didn't like the way that the art direction started going towards the end of its lifespan. And that's the thing is, Splitgate 1 had really, like, yeah, no. I think the second one had potential. I think in my mind what makes it feel stale is that, yeah, they've got 5 different guns per 5 different factions, but they're just the same guns with reskins. You know, you've got Eros, which is like the speedy kind of thing, and they've got, you know, these 5 weapons. You got the assault rifle, the burst, the DMR, the shotgun, and the SMG. And now they have like the LMG, so I guess there's 6 weapons per class. And it's like, okay, you've got all these, you know, these 6 weapons. Sure, they play good, they have good time to kill, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's go to Meridian. Oh, this is like the Venus faction. You've got, you know, Venus guns kind of have like this charge type style, blah blah blah. But they're the same guns, just burst modes of those guns. So like the pistol's a burst or a charge, like you just have to charge it up before you shoot it. And it's like, okay, I guess that's slightly different, slightly more interesting and more unique. You know, that kind of gives Meridian a cool vibe. Okay, you go to Sabrask. I always called it Sabrask. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it though. But either way, you go to Sabrask, and it's the same thing as the Arrows weapons, but just slower fire rate and heavier damage. They were literally just heavy versions of the Arrows gun, which, again, they felt fine, but it's just, as a sandbox edition, I don't think that they added much to the sandbox. They didn't feel unique enough. And then you look at the power weapons, and I feel like they've severely lacked on power weapons. Like you had the split stream, which, you know, oh, it could split into two guns, but it stops you from being able to shoot portals. Okay, then why would I have it as two guns? I want to be able to portal out. Like that limits my utility usage. Now, why would I do that? Oh, well, it deals more damage up close because it's a close range gun. Yeah, but I don't want to not be able to do anything else but shoot. Like that seems kind of stupid to me. I never really liked the split stream. I don't know. I think Splitgate 2 definitely had potential, but I feel like they just did too much with their... Like, for Splitgate. Because, like, if I were to compare Splitgate to Onyx, there's honestly a lot of similarities. The movement's kind of similar. Splitgate's, I think, was a little more free, and they went with a lot bigger maps because of things like portaling, whereas Onyx, I'm trying to go with a little bit smaller maps. And, like, I have the kind of Titanfall sliding and all that, but it's not as controllable as something like Splitgate or Titanfall, because I still need it to work within our maps. So it's, you can control it, you can like drift your slides around, and it's really fun, but it's balanced for, you know, our gameplay. And you know, yeah, I've got faster time to kill, and I've got, you know, guns and blah blah blah, and I've got the abilities and equipment, and you know, plenty of stuff for for players to use. But I think for Splitgate, the addition of portals with the rest of those things, it's just too much. There's too much for you to think about. And then the fact you could create a class and go into the game with creating a class, like, it took away the starts. Equal starts is what makes arena shooters fun, in my opinion. That's what I need to figure out. Why does Invis... When it fades back, or like when you're coming out of Invis, it like goes to solid visibility, and then goes back to 0, and then snaps to 1. Where are we getting this time value? What is even updating Invis percent? Oh, I know what that does. Is this what it's doing? Oh. No, I see what's happening. Yeah. We need to do if Invis. We need a max node, not a float. Max or not an integer. And then we need a min. And we want to do a max of both of them. I guess we only want the min. So if we are invisible, then we just want this straight direct value. But then if we're not invisible, then we want the minimum of this value or 0. Because what's happening is, since we're interpolating time backwards, I think it's going below 0. And then, yeah, it's giving us that constant value. So maybe that'll fix it. I don't remember this code at all. I coded this over, like, I don't know, I think this was honestly over a year ago that I did this. I think I did that on stream too. You code too much, you forget what you've coded. Nope, still did it. Oh gosh, what the heck is this code? Genuinely so lost in my own code. Okay, that's look fine. There we go. That's what's supposed to be happening. Okay, alright, fixed it. Cool. Yeah, now if you activate Invis, let's just speed up time. And then yeah, now when you come out of Invis, you'll just fade back into exit. There we go. That's what's supposed to be happening. I always hated seeing that game. Finally fixed it. I don't actually have temp sounds. I forget exactly the reason why I wrote that down. We'll probably have to test these. Yeah, we need to make all actions make you visible. So... yes, sir. Notion. Love me my Notion. Oh, I need to be in. Shooting assault rifle. Weird. Player performed action. Where's it called? I do begin some motion in the Notion. I can tell you, despite using Notion and all, the list only gets bigger. It never, I swear it never gets smaller. Like, actually. Oh. I'm calling this manually. Why am I calling it manually? That seems pretty stupid. What was 2025 me thinking? Yeah, it's probably oh, I'm just prototyping. I'll finish that later, you know, when the systems are all implemented. And then it's like, well, the systems are all implemented and there's not it's not happening properly. What am I saying? My brain is so fried. Can't even talk to you guys. I need to call start action. This one, better one. All right. In theory, we can plug this in. Select. And if this is a weapon specific animation, then we get weapon. Get weapon, which should be the function input. Yep. And then to string. I think that's what I use in here. Yeah, enum to string and then string to name, because Unreal's kind of weird, and if you don't use a very right order of these, then it'll give you like the actual name of the enum, which would be weapon list, or it'll give you the actual weapon like name, and then like, oh, it's so weird. So in theory, let's just test this with the SMG. In theory, if we actually, I suppose we should test this in the assault rifle, just that's what I spawned with. So now, yeah, if we skip this call in the assault rifle, in theory, we should still become visible when we shoot. Just because. And indeed we do. It means I am calling it properly. Everything's still working. And then if I throw a grenade now, it says throw grenade underscore none. Here. Okay. Even though I guess you can't pass through. Guess we'll just call it base. And then also things like melee should also make you visible. Yeah. So now I should be able to come to my data, equipment, and Invis data table. Now if I add throw grenade underscore base, name is going to be throw grenade. Yeah, well, that'll be fixed with this thing that I'm about to add, technically. I think I just need to create a global, like, a global function for, like, object added to player. That way, anytime I add an object and, like, and attach it to the player, it calls that function, and then the Invis knows to, because the issue is I'm, like, adding a new material to the object when it dynamically gets added to you, and I have it manually coded for weapons. I just don't have it manually coded for anything that's animation based. So yeah, like, I don't know, throwing a grenade, let's say like 0.6, the duration of throwing a grenade is, let's just say 1 second. So now in theory, when I throw a grenade, I should become fully visible, or I should, yeah. I don't know if I want the player to become fully visible or if that looks fine. Interesting. Explosion grenades are not supposed to bounce. Honestly, I'll probably just make the player fully visible if throwing grenades. Or, like, close to it. I don't think any action should technically make you fully visible except for shooting. Oh, that's great. Just keep posing dude right there. Or I guess that's a pose. Why does that fade out so quick? Holy moly. Oh, it's because I'm adding it multiple times. Yeah, that's probably it. Before I do anything else, let's just delete all this code from all the weapons. Pistol, Shadow Stalker, and SMG. This lowers the amount of code that I need to have in every single weapon, which is good. The weapon system is constantly being updated. Which I think is good, because it just means it's constantly getting more optimized and ready for when I do the massive content push. I did not mean to delete that. When I do the massive content push to add back all the other weapons, which will start probably hopefully after April, because April should be when the vertical test slice happens. So I'm just grinding it out. Okay, so my question is, how am I fading these things in the visibility? Okay, that's when it gets added. Oh, that's a different thing. Yeah, this is when the object gets added. And then when I do this... I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm literally at a loss for words. I do not remember my code at all. I'm looking through my code and I'm trying to figure out where I have the code to because like you see, it does nicely fade out. You know, it's fine. We don't need to comment out anything, you know. Yeah, we're not going to worry about it. It's fine. Anyways, yeah, throwing the grenade now makes visible. Why did I close that? I don't know, because I wasn't finished. We also need to do melee underscore base. This is going to be called melee. Oh wait, I already have melee in as duration 1.2 max alpha 1. we'll just copy that. And we shall see what that looks like. Yeah, see? Now when you melee it, doesn't matter that the knife is visible because you are too. That transition didn't look good for some reason. We do some testing on this. I love these teleporters. I do want to make them more fancy in the future, but and I just love how basically everything in the game is like interactable with each other. So if I drop this assault rifle on this lift, it just goes up. It's so cool. I just love that all my code is working hand in hand. Well, yeah, I don't know what else there is, because, like, I mean, I am going to have to code a specific implementation for abilities, just because, like, right now throwing an ability doesn't make you visible. But with that, I'm going to have to pass through the ability type as well. I don't have any more Invis. Hopefully he has one. Does he have one? He did have one. Yeah, I'm liking that. For the abilities, how do I want to pass those? So obviously I am passing through ability, usability as the action. And the data is technically... Oh, the data is that. I guess what we would do is... It's not a weapon-specific animation. Then we would do another select. For now. I guess this is the thing that got me into this mess, is doing it for now, but you know, it's fine. Future me in a future stream will have to figure it out. Kidding. This is probably the better way to do it anyway. So now if we throw like a pulse blade or something. Yeah, now we can make it specific for that. Now we can do like use ability underscore pulse blade. And that one we can call ability. Duration probably 1. Max alpha also 1. I guess the grenade should also be 1. Or it's max alpha. So I go ahead and pop Invis and grab a pulse blade. And I throw it. Yeah. Cool, cool. Next thing would be Thruster, which should already make you visible just simply because of the fact that you're getting velocity. But I just want to make sure that it doesn't make you... Yeah, I like it. Yep, good. And then last but not least, shockwave. Oh, shoot. Use ability. Shockwave. Let's make that duration of 1 and 1. Yes. I don't know what activates. I don't think the double jump actually counts as using an ability technically. Which I feel like that's fine because that's more of a movement based thing. I feel like it's fine to not make you fully visible, but it's going to make you visible anyways just because of the velocity you're getting. So that already just works out of the box, which is sick. And then if we try to do the ground pound while you're invis, oof, I feel like that should last a lot longer. Let's do a duration of like 4. That's definitely way too long. But I guess if you're ground pounding, it doesn't matter how long it lasts because your velocity will automatically make you visible. So let's try this. Game dev stuff. Actually, what happens if I let it last the full duration? I need to test third person. Make this more like 6. I didn't grab it. Okay, I think that felt pretty good. Let me reactivate my invis. Let me just do it on ground. Okay, maybe not 7. 6. Correct. This is weird because this is, I don't really have like a duration thing set up for this. But I guess it kind of already works hand in hand with the already velocity things, so. That feels good for that. So, reactivate this. And try it on the ground. Wow, my aim sucks. Yeah, I feel like that feels good. So everything. Oh, using equipment. That should also activate it. What is that actually? I drop like a turret. Yeah, use equipment underscore base. I don't know if use equipment should necessarily actually show you, because realistically, the crystals already glow when you're invis. I'm not gonna hide the crystals in your hand, because I feel like that's a very core like gameplay element. Dropping turrets and dropping mines, I don't really think should make you visible. Maybe they should though. I don't know. We'll playtest that. I'll playtest that before I add it. I have the system set up for it now. So let's go to Notion. I don't think I need this, so I'm gonna remove that because I don't really think we actually need it. That's the thing we just did with the custom curve. So I guess we just call this use curve. And I still don't know about this either. The way I had an idea, and I think it'd be cool, where essentially when you were invis, you would still have footstep audio. Because I went back and I was looking at games like Halo 5, all the different Halos, and how they handled invis and like footstep audio and things like jumping and landing and like those kind of movement audio based stuff. And it seemed like older Halos still played footstep movement or like footstep sounds and like all movement sounds. However, I noticed older Halos or like previous Halos, I think like Halo 5 and before, tended to just have very quiet like footstep audio to begin with, so you don't really notice footstep audio in those older games. But Halo Infinite has a little bit louder audio, and my game, Onyx, you guys know that. I don't know why I said it like that. But Onyx has louder footstep audio because that's one of my biggest things with games when they don't have clear readable footstep audio. So I was going to play around with the idea of, because like Halo Infinite just completely mutes basically all movement sounds. Like you don't hear jump and land and footsteps at all if you're invis. But you do hear mantling sounds in Halo Infinite, which is interesting that they don't mute that, but they mute like footstep based audio. I couldn't tell you. And right now I kind of have it like Halo Infinite where footsteps are completely muted. And I'm probably going to do things like jumping and landing would also be completely muted. But I was going to play around with the idea of like doing a low pass filter on the footstep audio if you were invis, and I don't know if I still have the code in here, but I messed around with it a little bit. Movement, footsteps. Yeah, I don't have it in here, but like if I did like a low pass, yeah, one pole low pass filter, we set the cutoff frequency to like 1500, or I think 900 is the value. Maybe it's lower. I feel like I remember it being way lower. Either way, we'll just plug this in. I'll show you guys. Pause the music. Great. Never mind. I forgot Unreal is being weird and doesn't actually like me playing audio and that. I can't really. I guess I can. I just go in game and walk around with it. Like, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's the low end of the footsteps. The sprinting one you can kind of hear. You can kind of hear that it's a lot more kind of muffled. Yeah, very quiet. And that's the issue. Sprinting one's probably easier to hear. Yeah, normal footstep. Like, but I guess if you're sprinting, you wouldn't hear that anyways. So I don't know. Let's do more of like a cutoff frequency of 800. Let's try that and see what that looks like, or what that sounds like for normal walking movement. So this would be like Invis walking. Oh wait, you don't hear it because it's getting muted because I'm an idiot. Because I'm Invis. I don't even know where my footstep audio thing is. Oh, this is first person. Third. Yeah, let's just disconnect that volume multiplier and see. It's kind of muffled. Like if I deactivate this low pass filter and I just like it's kind of filtered, but like, and actually I guess after hearing this now I don't think I'm gonna do it. But that was kind of an idea I was throwing around where like maybe I could do some kind of like frequency filter to make it, sound like it is muffled and sound like it's, being muffled by the invis. But the issue with that is that people with better headphones that have more like bass in them, or people that are using like surround sound or just have better speakers, it would be very much an advantage for them. They would be able to hear invis people a lot better, which like my buddy Sindrid, who plays fairly frequently with us, he's always the one wrecking me in the replays that I do at the beginning of the stream. uh he's got better headphones and he can always hear the footsteps way better than I can. So it would definitely be an advantage for people that use like headphones versus like earbuds. Like I use earbuds to play games. So if for and I probably should get a pair of headphones for when I start doing audio balancing in this game. And then like my buddy's parents' place has some really bassy speakers that I didn't realize how much bass some of the weapons in Onyx have, because I started shooting them at his place and I was like, oh my gosh, these things got some bass on them. So I forgot why I played this game at like 50. I took the lead. I'll probably do another pass on Invis at some point, but I think for the most part, yeah, I think for the most part we did everything that I wanted to do. Temp sounds, I'm not even gonna do that just because my sound designer is working on sounds for both the shield boost and the invis. So we're kind of throwing stuff around and doing stuff for that. So I'm not really worried about adding the temp sounds for now. So I'm just gonna take that off the list. And then unwrapping the guns is just something I've been slowly poking at anyways. And that's just something that's gonna take time. And then the gun ADS screen I never actually put thought into. So I'm gonna consider that finished for the day. So in just slightly under 2 hours, I would say did a decent pass on Invis. Maybe there's, we'll have to do some gameplay to figure out if the values that I've set feel good, but Did I just break it? That pulse blade did not make it visible. Yeah, what? The melee works still, but then... Oops. I accidentally have a... maybe a bit long. Like 1.5. It's so weird. Like, the more that I make like stuff in this game, like, and this is the whole reason why I've made Gen 3 as opposed to just keeping Gen 2, was Gen 2 was just like adding all the stuff that we wanted in the game. I didn't realize how many systems had to work hand in hand with each other. And so they were very much hard coded, and the entire game was linked together, which is terrible for performance and everything. So now everything is kind of working together, and it's a little bit more optimized and kind of broken up, and not everything is referencing everything. Yeah, I think that feels good for Pulse Blade. Let me go make sure it's like the thruster. Yeah. And then the equipment we'll have to test. I'll need to run that by some friends, see what they think. I don't know what you guys think, if like dropping equipment should make you visible. I mean, I feel like it probably should, but like, just because you're doing an action, you're like performing an action that's going to change the state of your player, and it's going to change the state of the game. So it should probably. Golly, all of this stuff. I definitely need to do the Discord revamp. I'm gonna be deleting a lot of channels, merging a lot of channels together, and making it to where like new people that join the server, I don't know how I'm gonna make it to where you get like the member role, but essentially new people that join the server. So in this case, let's say bots, they'll only have access to the general channel, and they won't be able to send links or embeds or images or files or anything like that. So that should stop the majority of bots. And stop just people from coming in and just being annoying and spamming. They only have access to the general chat, then they only have access to the general chat. And it'll just be, I don't know, maybe they have to be in the server for more than a week before they get access to the member role or something. Yeah, there has. Because I've made Onyx a community server, they're like, you know, they can just join. Anybody can join the Onyx server now without an invite. And that's why we've been getting so many bots. If I kept Onyx not a community server, we basically wouldn't get bots because they would have to manually click the link. So I think that's just what they do, is they just go through the discover page and they just probably go through and just join like every server. Yeah. And again, that's why I want to do this server rework, because the issue is they just post it in all the channels that they have access to post in, which is technically every single channel. But it's weird that seems like they post it in specific channels. Like, it seems like they always post it in the general, the Q&A vid, the off-topic chat, but they don't post it in every single off-topic chat. Like, I wonder if they're programmed to like look for certain keywords for certain channels to post into. But that's just weird. Why not just go down the list of every channel? Just do it in every channel. Like, yeah. Maybe, but like in that case, why not just do it in one channel? Like, if I want somebody to like, you know, if I'm posting about my game in somebody else's server and I want people to click on it, I'm not gonna post on it in 5 different channels. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I guess they probably. I wonder if it's like maybe they post it in like the channels that are most recent, like have had the most recent activity, which I guess would make sense. But I don't know. Again, I don't know why they like, if they're really just trying to get a scam. I would just like, if I was coding that, I would just code it to paste it in every single channel. What do they do? Do they just like post their own stuff, or are you saying like people are coding bots to promote their own content? My boy's going on a date. Oh, thankfully we haven't gotten any of those. I actually have been thinking about streaming overlays as of late, like not only for if I ever get back into streaming on Twitch, like streaming my gaming on Twitch, but I just don't play many games. That's just because I'm in crunch mode for Onyx. I'm literally trying to get this vertical slice to be as good as it possibly can, and I'm just April 1st. That's my deadline for content, and then after April 1st, it's polish, and then just polishing it, making sure it's, you know, functional, maybe optimizing a few things here and there, and yeah, so yeah, I've just been kind of crunch mode with Onyx. I mean, we've been doing basically playtests every morning, and I mean, we do sometimes upwards of like 5 or 6 like games. And I mean, I was telling this to some friends at work. Like, obviously, I'm a little biased because Onyx is my game, but like, I feel like the fact that we can play Onyx on the daily and play 5 to 10 match, or like anywhere from 5, you know, maybe slightly more, not quite 10, but you know, slightly more than 5. Like the fact that we can play that every day, and to me, it's not really getting stale. I think the only stale part of it is the fact that I'm playing against the same people, So I'm always forced to play the same way. I'm never like having to adjust to how they're playing, or like, you know, how the enemy team is playing, because I know my friends' play styles, and I'm just kind of, I'm just always just running into fights, kind of, you know, being annoying, being a menace, and if I'm Invis, I'm just gonna crouch around the corner and wait for them to come over to me. You know, I'm not really getting a dynamic gameplay experience. Whereas, you know, if I was doing, like, let me mark him again. I didn't, whatever. I think that's the only part that's like somewhat getting stale, is like just the fact that I'm playing against the same people. But, like, I am always having fun. And I feel like that's a good sign. And again, like I said, I'm a little biased just because it's my game. But I feel like that's a good sign that we're playing with, yeah, I probably won't be. I'm probably gonna stream literally like right now. But like the fact that we're playing with the same 3 guns, the same 3 abilities, and the same 3 equipment, and I'm still having fun, I feel like that means I'm, you know, creating something cool. So I don't know. I can't wait for the content pushes. I can't wait for you guys to experience all that. But yeah, I think I'll end stream because I basically finished everything I wanted to do on stream. I will probably not be streaming tomorrow morning because I'm going hiking, getting food and stuff. Just gonna be busy. So but yeah, so on that note, appreciate you all for watching. We got good progress on Invis. I'm probably going to package this right now and test it with some buddies. And yeah, I'm probably going to stream now. So thanks for watching. I shall talk to you all later. So see ya.